In the wake of Donald Trump's aggressive tariff regime, dubbed Liberation Day by its architect, Keir Starmer's government now finds itself under intense pressure. And Trump's tariffs include a punishing 10% levy on UK imports, 25% on cars, and a devastating amount of duty on steel and aluminium. And the FTSE 100 has been rocked. British jobs, particularly in manufacturing, are imperiled. And against this backdrop, British Steel, currently owned by China's Jingye Group, has announced a consultation on closing its two blast furnaces in Scunthorpe, and the consequence would be catastrophic, up to 2,700 jobs lost. Britain deprived of its last remaining virgin steelmaking facility and an industrial base vital to national security dismantled. Steel is not just another commodity, it's foundational. No G7 nation, save perhaps one willing to court ruin, should wish to outsource its entire virgin steel production. Yet that's precisely the fate Britain now faces. If the Scunthorpe furnaces close, we become entirely reliant on imports at the mercy of global shocks and foreign suppliers. Historically, steel has always been entwined with security and sovereignty. Nationalised in 1967 under Harold Wilson, privatised under Thatcher, renationalised briefly in the 1970s, British steel has always been a political football, albeit one made of reinforced alloy. But this is no nostalgia trip. This is about economic realism. And in 2023 alone, British Steel posted a pre-tax loss of £231 million. Its private owners are now, according to unions, preparing to pull the plug entirely, cancelling orders for iron ore and coking coal, essential ingredients in blast furnace production. And reports even suggest that Jingye is investing in a new rail mill in China instead. In response, Sir Keir Starmer has not ruled out nationalisation. His language has been careful. All options are on the table, but the shift is palpable. Industry Minister Sarah Jones has described the closure threat as far from a done deal and stated explicitly that steelmaking is vital for national security. A figure as centrist as the Business Secretary Jonathan Reynolds is said to be considering legal instruments, including powers derived from terrorism legislation, to justify public acquisition of the furnaces on security grounds. And this is not a lurch to the left, it's an act of pragmatic statecraft. Even Nigel Farage's Reform Party is calling for temporary nationalisation. And when the populist right is demanding government ownership of industry, one can safely say that ideology has collapsed under the weight of necessity. Yet the Conservatives remain publicly sceptical. Kemi Badenoch has declared that nationalisation may be the last resort and has attempted to blame Labour for the site's peril, though the blast furnaces were last stable under EU oversight and Conservative ministers. Her argument is curiously hollow, and critics might ask at what cost. The firm is loss-making. Nationalisation would saddle taxpayers with potentially billions in liabilities, and the plant would require costly environmental upgrades. As I say, it worked when we were in the EU before Brexit. It doesn't work now. And we are entirely at the mercy of Trump's tantrum. And the counter-argument is straightforward. The cost of doing nothing is higher. Nationalisation, even temporarily, could preserve jobs, maintain strategic capacity, and provide a platform for future investment in green steel. We shouldn't forget Network Rail sources 95% of its steel from Scunthorpe. The infrastructure of the country, its railways, bridges, its defence procurement depends entirely upon this one facility. It's hard to imagine the Germans, Japanese or Americans willingly surrendering such an asset. Why should we? The government's steel plan has £3 billion set aside. Up to £1.75 billion could be allocated to nationalisation. This isn't pie in the sky. The money exists. What is required is resolve. And this isn't simply about jobs in Lincolnshire. It's about whether Britain intends to remain a serious industrial power or whether we are content to become a nation of consultants, cafe chains and collapsing rail services, outrageous insurance brokers. Nationalisation is not socialism, it's strategy, it's intervention in the national interest. And if British Steel is allowed to close, the country may one day look back and wonder why we let one of our last truly strategic industries rust into oblivion. the government should act. The tariffs imposed by Trump are not just financial, they are ideological, they are political. They assert American dominance, and Britain must respond with equal seriousness. That means defending our capacity to forge steel, not merely to trade in it. As Starmer said, our plans for growth will require more steel. If so, let's ensure it's British.